Today we're going to be taking a look at the SH Figuarts Gear 5 Luffy. So what is going on, my fellow collectors? How is everybody doing today? Daredon18 here, and today you can see what we're going to be taking a look at, and this is a very highly anticipated figure here, which is the SH Figuarts Gear 5 Monkey D. Luffy. So without further ado, let's get into it right away and take a quick look at the box of real. So pretty basic for the Figuarts One Piece line for the box here. Pretty cool looking. There's the bottom of it. There's the tippity top, the one side of the box, and then the other side with some promo pics. And on the back here, more promo pics of the figure along with barcode of blah blah stuff nobody cares about. So let's get this open and take a closer look at Luffy. Alrighty, taking a closer detailed look here, and Tamashii Nations really did do a nice job on the detail with this Gear 5 Luffy. The cloud looks great, the hair sculpt looks great, the faces look fantastic as well. And you can see that cloud piece is like a translucent type plastic, which looks really nice. It does get a bit frustrating, and I feel like it might get loose over time, but it does unpeg a lot where it's pegged in on the torso there. So just keep that in mind. That might frustrate some people, but his scar turned out great. His vest shirt also looks really good. Nice sculpted wrinkles all throughout it. And I don't know if I'm going blind, but I can't tell if there's like a subtle gray shading on the shirt and shorts. And then the straw hat. I wish we got the hat down straw hat with the Wano Luffy. Beautiful sculpt detail all throughout that. Hope they include that more often with Luffy figures. Shorts look good, and I like that they sculpted out the back so you can get more range out of the legs this time, which I feel going forward now, that's what we're going to get with Luffy figures. And I did have an issue with the right leg. It popped off, and every time I pick it back in, it would keep unpegging, but now it seems to be fine. But the sculpted wrinkles on the shorts and everything turned out really nice. And the bendy limbs, I don't find like they're going to break or anything or damage over time, but his sandals did turn out fine. There isn't a hinge on them, which we'll see a little bit later. But yeah, the detail on this really did turn out nice. So let's go over the height and height comparisons. Now for the height of Gear 5 Luffy to the very top of his head. Looks like he's about 5.5 inches tall, and to the top of his hair seems to be around 6 inches tall. Now let's see him compared to some other One Piece figures. And here he is compared to the SH Figuarts Sanji, Zoro, Trafalgar Law, and Yamato. And I think he scales really well with the other figures in the SH Figuarts One Piece line. And then here he is compared to some other One Piece figures. So we do have the anime heroes Tony Chopper, Usopp, Brook, and Frankie. And once again, I think he scales really well with these One Piece figures, even though it's a different figure line. And then finally, here he is compared to the Marvel Legends X-Men 97 Wolverine, the SH Figuarts Wano Luffy, the demoniacal fit 3.0 Goku, and Timebreaker Goku Black. And you can see he's pretty much the same height as the Wano Luffy. So there's the height and height comparisons. Now let's move on to the accessories. Moving on to the accessories, Gear 5 Luffy is included with a nice chunk of stuff. So we have faces, an alternate head sculpt for the Wano Luffy, stretchy arms. We do have lightning and a bunch of alternate hands. So we do have 5 faces for Luffy. We have the laughing face, the smiling one, kind of like an angry one, the kind of like, oh no type face with his teeth clenched. And then we do get that comedic face with the tongue and eyes popping out, very Looney Toony. And if any of you were wondering, like Anime Cluster, you can use the hat down straw hat on the Wano Luffy. You just gotta pop the head off the Gear 5 one and take the hat off, and you can put it right on this Luffy here. And no, you cannot swap the faces with the two Luffy figures. The pegs are different, as you can see there. So then we also get the alternate head sculpt of when he's turning into Joy Boy, pretty much, which is for the Wano Luffy. It doesn't come with its own neck peg, so you have to take the one off the Wano Luffy one off and use that with this head sculpt here. Then we do get the stretchy limbs, which are bendy wire, and the lightning. And the stretchy limbs, it gives you great range. You could really put them in a full circle. The lightning looks great too. And once you have them with the figure, it looks awesome on display there. And then finally, we do get the 8 alternate hands, a pair of fists, gripping hands for the lightning, open resting hands, and then we have like open palm type hands. Oh yeah, and last we do get a Tamashii Nations stand. So that is all the accessories included with Gear 5 Luffy. Now let's head over to the articulation. So for Gear 5 Luffy's articulation, you get some pretty good movement. So the cloud can hinge or swivel up and down. The head looks down really well, looks up really good too, and you get very nice pivot out of both the joints. And then of course the swivel action. And the torso goes forward a lot, also goes back really well. Then you do get very nice pivot at both the joints. And then once again, swivel action. Then the sash piece is on a ball peg, so you can move that around. And you can see the shoulder joints are on a double ball hinge, so you can kind of move them a little bit in a circular motion. They do go up and down. There is no bicep swivel. You have to use it at the shoulder, and you can see the arms do go out to the sides a bit more than 90 degrees. Then you don't get double jointed elbows. It's the bendy wire. They barely get 90 degrees. Then for the wrists, they can swivel where it connects at the hand, but I can't get it to swivel where it connects into the arm. So you do get the swivel and the hingeroo. The legs kick forward about 90 degrees, go back decently. He can't Van Damme it, but they do go out more than 45 degrees. Then you do get the swivel at the hip, and it is on a ball peg, so you can move it all around. Then the knees, of course, it's not double jointed knees, it's bendy wire, but they can go back more than 90. It can swivel where it connects into the shorts as well. And once again, same issue with the wrist. I can't get it to swivel where it connects into the leg, but they do hinge up pretty good. Same with hinging down, and you do get a nice ankle pivot, but no toe articulation. Overall, I think Tamashii Nations did a very nice job with this goofy Gear 5 version of Luffy. I know some people aren't going to be too happy with the bendy wire limbs, and I agree they should have included an extra set of limbs that has regular joints on them. Also sucks that you can't pop the stretchy limbs off and put them on the Wano arc Luffy. But in the future, these would make great gum-gum effects for Luffy figures. The articulation is another thing I know some collectors won't be too happy with either because of the bendy wire limbs. The legs aren't too bad, but the regular arms don't really let you hit a 90-degree bend around the elbows. Also, it's difficult trying to swivel the ankles and hands where the joints connect into those bendy wire limbs. I personally don't mind the bendy wire limbs, and I think it was a good idea including them. I also don't feel like they're gonna break or damage over time. They seem well made, and I'm not worried about that because I know a lot of collectors were. Another minor thing that might be frustrating is the cloud piece around his shoulders, because it likes to pop out a lot where it's pegged in, and I feel like the joints where it swivels might get loose over time, making it difficult to hold it in certain positions. But the detail was done incredibly well on this Gear 5 Luffy, and it looks just like how he does when he's in Gear 5. The hair looks great, and the faces are on point too. They also did fix the back of the shorts issues, so now we can expect that on future Luffy releases like the East Blue Luffy. That was a big issue with the Wano Luffy because it restricted his knee movement. The accessories is another great aspect to this Luffy. You get a ton of faces, the extra head for when he first is about to go into Gear 5. You also get the longer arms, that is also bendy wire, the lightning, and of course you get alternate hands. And let's not forget the Tamashii Nations stand. And for the articulation, like I said, some people won't like it and others will like it. It's not horrible or really bad. It's just you don't get the basic double jointed knees and elbows, and that's to be expected because they did not show that type of articulation with this figure from all the promotional pictures. It's still a super fun figure to pose around because I had a bunch of fun posing it, besides the cloud piece always popping off. But it's definitely a fun figure. You have a ton of posing and display options. So now for my rating of the SH Figuarts Gear 5 Luffy, I'm gonna have to give him an even 8 out of 10. This figure isn't for everyone, but overall, I think they made a pretty cool, unique action figure. But anyway, that is my review of the SH Figuarts Gear 5 Monkey D. Luffy. Hope you enjoyed it. Let me know your thoughts and opinions about the figure in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and don't forget, I will catch you on the next episode of Daredevil 19. And I will also see you guys later.
We shall start with revenge. I am the knight. Gonna change the future.